Okay, I believe we are now recording. It's 9:05 Central, and we're going to get the ball rolling. Thank you guys for being here or watching the recording. We're excited today. Today's kind of a teaser day. It might be a little bit quick, but we're gonna show three of the tools that are in the pipeline that are you know going to be available sooner rather than later. We're in testing phase on all of them. Um, but to kick it off, let's start with quick little industry update. I am going to give two quick updates. One is AI, and one is real estate. I'm sure you guys have been seeing, as far as mortgage rates go, with a couple of the industry updates the past couple of weeks were about that, about the president pulling strings to try to drop the rates as we come into the midterm elections. And looks like we're starting to see those rates drop a little bit. In my feed and where I get my news from, I'm seeing a bunch of information about mortgage rates dropping. So they're not, quite the pre-pandemic rates. Don't know that we'll see those again or not. But if you've bought in the last 12 to 18 months, it might start potentially making some sense to look at refinancing. So that's that's exciting. People are excited about that. I guess the average 30-year mortgage as of yesterday, it fell to 6.37%, lowest since September of 2024. And as always, it's based heavily on the long-term treasury yield. So this is good news. This is welcome news for us in the real estate industry. The other little quick thing I want to talk about, it's kind of AI, kind of space exploration, but so XAI and SpaceX. XAI is Elon Musk's AI. It's the Grok, and they're XAI is all about like understanding the universe better. It's kind of one of their mission statements, I guess, if you will. But SpaceX and XAI had a merger valued at $1.25 trillion, which is insane. These are private companies. I don't, it's got to be one of the highest valued private companies ever. But that's just unbelievable. $1.25 trillion valuation for a private company. The two merging, they made a statement saying that the merger would form the most ambitious vertically integrated innovation engine on and off Earth, with AI, rockets, space-based internet, direct-to-mobile device communications, and the world's foremost real-time information and free speech platform. Um, just a wild thing, a wild merger, very big merger. Just impressive to me. Figured I'd share about that a little bit. So. Anyways, there's a couple little real estate and AI industry updates. Um, so we'll jump into what we're talking about today. There are three items that we're going to be discussing. We're going to be discussing closing coordination, closing coordinator, which is a skill, advisory, which is a skill, and coaching, which is a skill. We'll start with talking about, in each of these, I'll kind of talk about it, and then Woozy's going to show you some stuff just show you a little bit ins and outs on it. So again, teaser day, these are products that are in the pipeline that are to come, and we're excited to kind of start showing them off a little bit. So closing coordinator, um, at a high level, closing coordinator, the idea behind it is a workflow automation. It takes complex workflows and is able to, your persona is able to handle this complex workflow. And if certain things happen, it's going to be doing certain things. If things don't happen or they're not supposed to happen, it'll do other things. So basically, if you have like a process or a procedure, at a high level, the idea behind the skill is that this skill can handle complex procedures. Given a map of what the procedure looks like, it can handle that. And then the use case that we're doing in real estate here is closing coordination. So we've laid out, what a closing will look like. There's just a complex workflow with all kinds of different steps of what will happen, what might not happen, and the persona will guide and handle through that process. So, Woozy, you want to show them a little bit of what we're able to show at this point?
Yeah, let me share my screen here and we'll kind of jump on in here. So, kind of like just what Jake was talking about there, the closing coordinator, you basically can think of it kind of as stringing a series of events that we want completed all together. The persona is basically going to be able to go through event by event, as well as, branching, anything like that. And just to make sure that all the events in the sequence are taken care of here. So, I'm quickly popped up this here, just to kind of start here. This is a file that I'm in the middle of testing here, and I'll kind of keep referencing this as I talk through some points here. But as I zoom in, you can kind of see that each one of these is events. You can start off with something like earnest money, where we're just confirming that that deposit's been made. And then as you go, you can see that we've got, everything from, inspection to appraisals to, title information to all those other fun stuffs that we do here. So this is kind of the roadmap that we'll kind of keep coming back to. But let me kind of reset here and first start about a little bit just of the setup and kind of how this works here. So this is kind of the back end of our system. I just wanted to show a little bit of this for context real quick here. You guys yourselves as real estate agents aren't going to actually have to do anything or mess with the setup here. But just for context, wanted to show kind of how this works here. So basically what this allows us to do in our system is create events that can be synced up or branched off, or dependent on each other, so that when we're going through this flow, the persona is going to look at each event. And when we're making these, each event is basically going to have criteria and action steps that the persona can do to accomplish that event. So in our first one here, it's basically just making sure that the earnest money deposit has been completed. So the action steps for the persona are they can reach out and text the seller agent, just to confirm those deposits. Once it does get that confirmation text back from the agent, then it can basically automatically update the file, as well as then go to the next step there. So let's dive in here and take just a quick peek on what that might look like here. So for testing this out today, I'm right now I'm just using a kind of dummy contract here to test, but I'm using the persona Madison Vargas is my persona here, and I'm acting like I'm submitting a new file here. So I've submitted a new file to her, and she basically has automatically started a new contract for me, and that's when she's going to also go ahead and you can see this is the file that I've already started here, but she's basically going to start this file and map out everything that we have in the flow here. So as the flow owner, this is kind of where I can track all of the events going on. You can see even if I have, multiple contracts going on at the same time, I can flip back and forth, and kind of see where each one is at in the stages here, as well as if for any reason I need to either, skip or mark complete events, I can do that as well, or retry to send out. It's kind of like my management center from where I can manage there. So that's kind of the management aspect side of it there, as far as watching the contracts. And then let's take a quick little peek on what some of the messaging actually looks like here. So you can see in that first event that I sent out, it was I had it set up for text. These can be text or email kind of events. The persona has the capability of doing either here. But let me just pop up real quick here. So the first event here, I'm acting as kind of all the parts in this transaction. So it sent me, this is the persona's phone number, but I'm basically acting as the agent here. It sent me this text basically saying, hey, can you confirm that the earnest money deposit for the Neorealty demo house is complete? And it's telling me, hey, let me know the amount, location, and date. So I respond here at the bottom with that information here. And I wanted to show this because not only does this complete this event here and automatically trigger these next two events, but it also in my file is basically going to in my original contract. Obviously, I wouldn't have already noted when that earnest money deposit was going to be submitted or where, and so when I give that text message, it's automatically updating my file with those answers here. So the idea of this is kind of like how you're always probably in your CRM making updates and making sure all the contracts are right. Now this is basically going to hopefully automatically do that for you in this step here. Really quickly show a few other things here that are capable here is when these events events, sometimes events are going to be sending out messages to third parties like your title company, just to be make sure that you're kind of always in control. We do have the option of basically having it, preview sent to you first as the contract owner before going out to the third party here. So for this one at the top, this was getting ready to send a message to the title company here. And basically, before it's sending that, it's basically telling me who it's sending it to, the subject, and then the message in here. So that if I do need to make any edits or anything before I send it, I can do it. If I like how it is, I can approve it, and then that will get sent off there. As always, as I'm doing these events, I can always kind of pop back here and reload this, and it's going to kind of update me in real time on kind of where I'm at in the contract here. So that's kind of a real quick and brief view of the closing coordinator, but hopefully you can see kind of all the steps that we've been kind of adding in there. We want to make it easy, not just for the persona to handle the events, but also for the end user to manage all the contracts as well from your guys' in there. So I'll leave that as the teaser for now here, but hopefully that kind of gives you a good little intro into it there.
Yeah, that's great. All right, thank you, Woozy, for that. So closing coordinator, that's the first one we're teasing today. Second one we're going to talk about is advisory. These are all skills that you can add to your persona. So your persona is kind of like your worker, and you can basically, give them a new skill, give them the capability to do this new thing. So the next skill that we're talking about is advisory. Advisory is essentially how I think about it. It's like Johnny on the spot, question answering and advice based on provided context that you provide your persona. So what that might look like is you can upload. So if you're a team owner or a team lead, you can upload your processes and procedures to your persona and direct your team members to reference that for questions about how to do things. You can upload, compliance information for yourself or others. If you just want to upload all of your, like in Oklahoma, like all of the OREC documents and the contract information, you can upload all that with all the directions. And if you have questions, you can go ask your persona, hey, what, I'm trying to extend this contract and I'm concerned about earnest money because this, that, and another. You could just ask your nuanced questions and get answers there. It could also be for, just real estate training. So if you take a course or attend a webinar and there's some content that comes with it, or even if you just have information that you pull off of the internet, free or paid, you can upload that into your persona and then you can reference that. So like, hey, I took this class on, on social media optimization a couple months back, and I remember it talked about this, but I need a refresher. You can go ask your advisory persona for a refresher on that piece, and it can reference that information and give you your answers. So, at high level, it's just basically being able to refer to information that you provide your persona and give you answers on the fly, whether that's via text or email, just be able to get advice as you need it, advisory. So, Woozy, you want to kind of show a little bit on that one?
Yeah, absolutely here. And yeah, I just gotta keep adding to what Jake was saying there. In my head, it's kind of like most businesses have that one person that's been working there forever that everybody goes to for questions. And it's not even just about like actual work stuff. It's like oh hey, like I don't know how to submit time off, or oh hey, where do I get my W-4? Or all those just dumb random questions that come up all during the day. This can also help your team kind of unload some of those questions as well, like Jake was saying. So it's not just the, technical real estate advice that you can load up here. It's also just those simple, everyday, business operations questions as well. So with that, let me pop up my screen again one more time here and we'll get going here.
Yeah, maybe you don't have to have like certain documentation. You could just have a Word doc where you write, I get these questions all the time, and write the question and the answer, provide that to your persona. It can now answer those questions on your behalf.
Almost like a team frequently asked questions there for you.
Hmm.
All right. So for this one, we're using Gary Williams here. We've loaded him up with some of the knowledge from the actual Airy Landco team from that side of it, as well as just some good general real estate knowledge. I think there's a lot on ISA as well as internet leads on here as well. But wanted to start here just to show that we can attach the phone number to him as well as he will have an email. So when you're doing the advisor, he can talk back both from email and SMS to you. It's handy if you're really needing like a long step by step. Sometimes email works a little better there. If you're looking for more quick responses, sometimes that text is a little more convenient there. So wanted to just make sure that he's kind of available both sides here. So just real quickly, I'll show you a couple of real simple samples I've given him here. So this is just me texting him earlier here, just to kind of let your guys' mind start flowing on some of the things he can do. But even little things like in bear with me here. I'm not the real estate background, so some of my questions might be a little simple here. But even so, simple stuff like when you're going just about your daily job, just getting that like kind of reconfirmation on just simple stuff you're doing, just to kind of confirm and get your confidence up as you're going about your day. And obviously here I'm asking about open houses, but this could be stuff about contracts, filling out forms, legal recs like Jake was talking about there. So you kind of have a wide variety of things that you could enter and ask it about there there. But the point is just this should be kind of your quick buddy here. So there's one, and then I have another one here, which is a little bit more just other side of it. So that's kind of more real estate. But you could also have something where like it's more just about your business, where maybe you want to know. Obviously, this is just very general about the RE Landco, but it could be something about hey, who's even just give me a list of everybody working for us, or hey, where's our website, or what's our address, just anything little like that just for quick answers is good there. And then I'll show you a peek into the back end just to show you how much you can put in here. This is I've converted this one into a kind of this format here. You can just have this in natural language. We're also going to provide a way to just upload files directly from your guys' side. So don't worry too much about the back end. But really, all I wanted to show here was that you can put quite a lot of information. And honestly, doesn't even come close to how much you can put in. But you can put a lot of information in there for him to be able to reference and list when he's giving these advisory there for you to get knowledge from.
Yeah, I was told like even like the length of the Bible in that thing, that's not going to be a problem. So lot you can load up a lot of information and yeah, get answers on the spot. Johnny on the spot's kind of how I think about it. So that's advisory. The last one we're going to talk about today is the coaching skill, which you can add to your persona, or will be able to add to your persona. And it's similar to advisory, but it's different. What it is, the way it's similar to advisory is you can upload content of your choosing. It can be like an onboarding training that you would like team members to go through. It can be real estate textbook. If you have that electronically available. It can be different training material for your team or not your team, just real estate training in general. Um, and it could be, whatever you want it to be. Woozy, any other ideas off the top of your head that I need to share here?
Yeah,
It,
I think that's good. It kind of
okay.
yeah, it's kind of similar to the advisory, like you were saying there. The difference is the coach is going to kind of try to push you into getting more of like an engagement, like conversation, so that like it really kind of shows that you're learning the material there.
Mhm.
Um,
And I can speak a little more to that before you start showing a little bit. It's instead of just answering your questions, it's actually going to teach you the material and make sure you understand the material. It will, before moving on from one topic, it will ensure that you understand it by having conversations. The way it works is like through the Socratic method. So it's a lot of questions. It's asking you questions. It's not just giving you information. So it can start to understand how well you understand it. And then once the persona determines that you understand the material sufficiently, it'll give you a little quiz. And then once that quiz, you've succeeded on that quiz, it moves you into the next topic that needs to be learned. So instead of just answering questions, Johnny, on the spot, it like the advisory, it's actually just going to train you on the material and make sure you understand the material a little bit more long-winded, and it's more something you're going to sit down and spend some time training with.
Yeah, and the reason we did it like this is we wanted it to feel more like a true one-to-one tutor. Everybody's probably had these in the like learning modules in the past where, they give you an article, they give you five multiple choice questions. Most people don't even read the article. You quickly answer the questions. If you get it wrong, cool, it tells you, you re-answer them and you're good. We wanted ours to be very different from something like that. We wanted it to like truly show something where they're actually learning the material, where you have to be engaged in order to really kind of grasp the concepts there, so that you're actually getting value out of it here. So that's kind of why we're trying to drift away from kind of the old, hey, read an article, answer these five questions. While some of those elements are obviously still baked in, we wanted it to feel more like a back and forth here. So let me pop up my screen and we'll show that here. All right. And on the one I'm showing here, I actually had been testing this out first. So it kind of started me off right where I left off with starting me off with my quiz here, like Jake was talking about. It'll go through module by module. So once you kind of complete your first module, get that quiz. Once you get the quiz, it's just going to seamlessly kind of go right into the next module here. So gave me my quiz here. You can see it usually has a handful of multiple choice as well as a couple short answers at the bottom. I did actually go ahead and answer here. And then basically from my answers, especially from some of the short answers, it's kind of looked at some of my answers and said, okay, well, you put in like a 30-day nurture plan, but it was pretty weak. Let's kind of restart there and kind of go through that. So it kind of had me start redoing my nurture plan. It was giving me advice back and forth here. And then it actually recommended that we try to role play some of these like scripts a little bit. So it kind of gave me some options as it will what to do here as far as what we should do, and then it kind of just jumped right on into it with pretending like it was a lead and talking to me like I was the agent, encouraging me to basically give responses like I would to actually do a like full practice here. So you can see why how it really gets you kind of into the material, engaging a little bit more. And then the other side of this too is that while this coach is doing this, it can actually send reports to somebody on your team, like a manager or a coach on your team. So let's say you had, a bunch of new hires that were going through this, and you just kind of wanted to know how they were doing. You could get weekly reports from John, our persona here, basically saying, hey, student A, did 30 back and forth messagings with me. They seemed like they were confused on this topic, and I'd recommend maybe helping them out here, just to kind of get you insights on how that's going. So it kind of works on both sides, both helping your team learn, helping you learn, but also kind of helping manage where your team's at as well in material that you're wanting them to get through.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big important piece like for a team manager. Um, to be able to see how your new agent is working, or not new hire, but that's the use case that's front of mind for me is that if someone's getting started, hey, you need to spend this much time a day working with the coach, going through this material, and then each day or each is it daily? You get an update, Woozy, right?
Can do daily or weekly. Yep.
Okay, you'll get an update, letting you know how they're doing, what they're doing good at, what they're not doing good at, and then suggestions on how to work with them and help them understand it better. So, anyways, that is coaching, and that is the third and final skill that we're going to teach for today. So, with that said, I think that that's all we've got for today. Anything else, Woozy?
I think that's it for me. Yeah, we're obviously still tweaking and improving all of our other basic stuff, and just a reminder to check out some of our other past webinars if you're kind of looking for some of the basic stuff live. But hopefully, this gets you a little excited about some things coming up soon here for us.
Absolutely. All right, guys, have a great Friday, good weekend, and we will talk soon.